In this video, I would like to share with you 3 totally idiotic copyright claims. 2 of them happened to other channels, and they are so stupid you won't believe them. And the 3rd one happened to me, and it's also pretty stupid, but yes, it did really happen. I would like to start with that one, and I will mention the other 2 later in the video. So this only happened a few days ago. I uploaded a video which was an arrangement of Chopin's Raindrop Prelude, originally written for piano, but I've rearranged it for music box. If you want to check it out, I will pop a card up there and leave a link in the description. So I had not even finished uploading the video when I got an email from YouTube saying that someone had made a copyright claim against it. And this is the email, and the claim was made by a Korean company called Consalad. Now, a little investigation showed that they were I don't know exactly what they do. They sort of promote music and music videos. Now, this copyright flag was instigated by YouTube's own copyright identification ID system. Now, I'm not going to go into too many details about it because, frankly, I don't know much about it, but it does seem to me that something somewhere is not working very well. It may be YouTube's copyright identification algorithm, or it may be the fact that they allow certain companies to copyright certain things which they really don't have a right to copyright. So when I received this email, and at the time I knew nothing about the algorithm or the copyright identification malarkey, I just knew this was a Korean company which had claimed copyright on Chopin's Raindrop Prelude. Now, the guy died 174 years ago. So I was really rather bewildered about what they could possibly claim copyright of. Now, copyright does vary, I believe, slightly from country to country and territory to territory, but most areas, I believe, say copyright passes into the public domain 70 years after the originator's death. So I think we can all agree that Chopin's work is very definitely in the public domain. Now, YouTube does make it pretty easy to dispute one of these claims by filling in a little, basically a ticky box form. Although it is peppered with dire warnings should you make a false dispute claim. So I filled in the dispute form. After filing the dispute, the claimant has 30 days to respond. Now, according to other videos I've seen on this type of dispute, the claimants, even if they are wrong, will usually just ignore the dispute, and it lapses after 30 days, and then the copyright returns to the original video. But you have to wait 30 days for it. So I was totally surprised when the very next day I got another email from YouTube saying that my dispute had been upheld. So the company or someone in the company must have looked at my disputed argument and realized that they were wrong and removed their claim. So that was nice of them. It was resolved easily, very quickly. But what continues to puzzle me is why any company would have a piece of music which was written 185 years ago in their copyright list, and how YouTube's algorithm could uphold that in the first place. Now, as I say, I don't know exactly how the system works. If somebody wants to enlighten me on that, then I would be very interested to hear about it. But it seems to me that something in the system which is supposed to identify copyright material is just not working properly. And in this age of supercomputer algorithms, I just think this is an area which should really be handled much better than it is. Anyway, all ended well for me in my Raindrop Prelude. But let me mention 2 other totally ridiculous copyright claims which other people on other music channels have reported. The first one you may have heard about is the infamous filter sweep effect. Now, I think this has happened to more than one music channel, and it's the sound you get when you turn the cutoff filter on a synthesizer to sweep through the frequencies. You get sort of whooshing effect. I'm not going to try to recreate it here for obvious reasons. Now, it appears that someone somewhere has copyrighted this filter sweep, and some channels which have been using the cutoff control to demonstrate the filter on a synthesizer have been hit with a copyright claim. Now, to me, that just defies any logic at all. I don't know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments. But the second example I would like to share with you is even more insane, if that is possible. And this is a channel that was using a software instrument to demonstrate a particular arranging technique. And they were using one of Native Instruments. I think it was something like action strings. Now, if you have action strings or have seen demonstrations of action strings, you know you can hold down a note and it will play a little string arpeggio. So he uploaded the video and got a copyright strike, which he eventually narrowed down to this string arpeggio. Someone had tried, or actually had managed to copyright this string arpeggio, which was produced by a synthesizer. Now this, again, is just one of these things which didn't seem to make any sense. If anyone indeed had copyright over this string arpeggio, it would surely be Native Instruments who designed it. But when you buy the instrument from Native Instruments, you get the right to use this in any production, including for commercial purposes. So how can anyone claim copyright on this arpeggio? Now, if we take these last two examples just one step further, people are going to try to claim copyright of individual sounds and individual presets. So again, something is really not working very well at all in this whole copyright situation. And one other thing which came through from watching some of these other videos about copyright claims, it was nigh on impossible, or quite possibly impossible indeed, to contact a human being who could apply a small degree of logic to the situation. Now, fortunately, I didn't have to go that far with my dispute, but can you imagine how incredibly annoying and frustrating it must be to get a copyright claim about something like that when you can't actually speak to a person who can make a logical decision about it? So that's my copyright claim story. I really hope I don't get any more, but what about you? Have you had any ridiculous copyright claims against any of the videos you have uploaded? Or have you any, shall I say, horror copyright stories? The whole issue with music copyright, it should be fairly simple, but of course it isn't. It is incredibly complicated and there are many facets to it. But let me know your experience, good or bad, if you have had any copyright issues. As always, I do appreciate you spending time watching my videos, so for that, thank you very much indeed. And if you've enjoyed this video, you may enjoy these as well. I will see you again in the next one.